The Tale of Peter Rabbit. Once upon a time, there were 4 little rabbits named Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. They lived with their mother in a sandbank underneath the root of a big fir tree. One day, when Mother Rabbit was going to the baker's, she told her children,
"My dear little ones, you can play in the fields or along the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Your father had an accident there."
Mother Rabbit left her children to enjoy their day. 3 good little bunnies named Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail went down the lane to collect some blackberries. However, Peter, the mischievous bunny, ran straight to Mr. McGregor's garden and squeezed under the gate. First, he ate some lettuce and some French beans. Then, he ate some radishes. Feeling rather sick, he went to look for some parsley. However, just as he rounded the end of a cucumber frame, he met Mr. McGregor. Mr. McGregor was planting young cabbages. He quickly stood up and started chasing Peter, waving a rake and shouting,
"Stop, thief!"
Peter was very scared and couldn't find his way back to the gate. He ran around the garden and ended up losing one shoe in the cabbages and the other in the potatoes. After losing his shoes, he ran on all 4s and moved faster. Unfortunately, he ran into a gooseberry net and got trapped by the buttons on his blue jacket. Peter felt lost and cried heavily. His sobs were overheard by some friendly sparrows. They urged him to pull himself and not give up. Mr. McGregor tried to catch Peter with a sieve, but Peter escaped on time, leaving his jacket behind. Peter then ran to a tool shed and jumped into a can. However, the can was filled with water. He got wet and shivered with cold. Peter sneezed loudly when Mr. McGregor was searching for him inside the tool shed. Mr. McGregor tried to catch him, but Peter quickly jumped out of the window. Peter was very tired and scared, and he didn't know where to go. He rested for a while. Then he got up and walked around slowly, looking around for something. He found a door in a wall, but it was locked. Then Peter met an old mouse. She was carrying peas and beans to her family in the woods. Peter asked her the way to the gate, but the mouse had a large pea in her mouth and couldn't answer. She just shook her head at him. Peter became upset and cried. Peter wandered around the garden and stumbled across a pond. Nearby, he saw a cat staring at some goldfish. The cat sat very still, occasionally twitching her tail. Peter decided not to speak to the cat and went away. Suddenly, Peter heard the sound of a hoe nearby and became frightened. He quickly ran and hid under a bush. After waiting a while, he climbed onto a wheelbarrow and looked out. He saw Mr. McGregor hoeing onions. His back was turned to Peter and the gate was beyond him. Peter quietly got off the wheelbarrow and ran along a straight path behind some blackcurrant bushes as fast as he could. He went under the gate and was finally safe in the woods outside the garden. Mr. McGregor hung up the little jacket and shoes as a scarecrow to frighten the blackbirds. Peter ran until he reached the rabbit hole under the big fir tree. Tired, he fell onto the soft sand floor and closed his eyes. Mother Rabbit was busy cooking, she thought.
What he has done with his jacket and his shoes? This is the second jacket he has lost.
She put Peter to bed and made some chamomile tea for him. She gave him 1 tablespoon of it before bedtime. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail enjoyed a hearty supper of bread, milk, and blackberries. That is the tale of Peter Rabbit. See you next time.